everyone, this is part 2 of teaching yourself or learning how to cornrow your hair. And we already went over how you need to hold your hands, or you can see it better this way probably, how you need to hold your hands and then move that to your own head. So you've been practicing that, and hopefully you've been practicing it enough to where you can visualize doing that, because when you're braiding your own hair or cornrowing or canerowing your own hair, you will not be able to see what you're doing, especially when you get to the back. So make sure that you really have that movement down. And the second part is parting your hair. So if you want cane rows going all back, you have to part your hair all back. And some people aren't necessarily used to doing that. And what you'll need is a comb. You can use any kind of comb, but the bigger the teeth are on the comb, like this, you can see how round it is and how it doesn't really have much of a point. But with the smaller comb, it has more of a point. And if you have something like a metal pick, that's even smaller as far as the point goes. And the reason you want something with a smaller point is because it's easier to part your hair that way. You don't have to apply as much pressure using a comb like this to part your hair, or to make clean parts at least. So there's that with this one. And to show you the difference, there's with the bigger comb, and you can see how the lines aren't quite even, and so you would have to press into your scalp harder to make sure that you actually part the hair. So parting your hair back, an easy way to start is to start in the center of your hair and go from there, like the very center. And this part you can look in the mirror to do, and then just keep going. Once you get to the point to where you can't see though, like I can't see that part of my head, but I can tell that it's sort of going crooked. Once you get to the point that you can't see, you will have to go by touch. Just look at where the part that you can see, and then try to line up the comb as straight as you can, and then just go straight down. And then start from where you can see again, and keep doing that until you can get further into your hair. Now you may not have to do that if your hair is straighter or less curly. You'll have less resistance. And that is how you can part your own hair all the way from front to back. And this is another reason why if you just start, and I think you should start in the middle, is because at this point you could tie away one of these sides. And this is if you're braiding all of your, and this is if you cane rowing all of your hair back. You can put one of these sides up and away, and then take your handy dandy mirror and see what you did, and see how it turned out. And if you need to make adjustments, you can go ahead and do that. But looking at what I got here, I think that's good enough. So it's pretty straight, and pretty straight looks straight once you actually start cornrowing your hair and all that. So that's how you do that back. And if you want to start your cane row, you would go through this same process, but start however far over you would like. And so I'm gonna go about I don't know how big that is. Maybe almost an inch to the right of that. And when I'm parting, I always part on the right side. I don't know why, but I never make my middle part and then make a left one. I always go right. And so you made your initial part, and then you move your hair back and forth so you can check the width of what you're parting to make sure that it's even from the beginning down to back here. And this is a little, it tapers back, it tapers to a little bit smaller, so I'm gonna redo part of this and grab a little more hair to make it even. And you can tell by looking at it this way, when you're looking at your own head, if it's the same thickness. Like right here, you can see that part right there isn't. So I'm going to have to adjust that and make it straight. So continue on. And it's going to start getting a little more difficult. As you can see, this part is thinner. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because with the shape of your head, you can start off with more. The cane row should taper. They should start a little bigger and then get a little smaller as you get to the back of your head, because your hairline from here to here is a lot bigger than your hairline from here to here. So if you want the same number of braids going all the way from the front all the way to the back, your part should taper slightly as you get towards the back and get thinner. I'm just going to adjust that real quick. So then you just keep on until you've got yourself all parted up. Now the more you do this, the more you'll be able to visualize what you're doing, because you will have done it so much. You can sort of tell by what you're feeling as you're parting if you got a decent part or not. So practice does make much better. And that is how you make a part going, or you make the parts going from back to front. And you would just part down towards your ear. And then to connect this side to this side, start in the center and go the other way. And now you have a part that you can braid all the way over this way, or split down the middle, braid down this way. And yeah, that's basic parting. And once again, after you get that down, the straight parts, the side parts, then you can work on something even more intricate. Swirls, waves, squares if you want. Yeah. And part 3 is coming up, and I will actually be cane rowing my hair and showing you. And I know it looks like I'm looking off into space. I'm not looking off into space. I can actually see myself like right there. So I'm looking at me to make sure that I'm in focus. And part 3 coming up.